Does Haniwa survive the barrage of arrows? Episode 8 of C Season 2 begins this finale with a barrage of arrows fired over the barren landscape. Haniwa makes it back to the fortress, but soldiers are cut down in the process. However, Baba Voss and the others manage to make it into the valley. Hey, given Edo Voss and the others have a sighted commander in Ren, do you think they may try and go around and gain the tactical advantage? No. Instead, Edo decides they need to smash the gates down, using a battering ram to gain an advantage. How do Baba Voss and the others turn the tables on Edo? With all hope lost, an ominous horn blow signifies the hidden tribes jumping in to help Baba Voss and the others. This explains what Paris's mission was last episode, and goes some way to help even the playing field. With all the soldiers ready to strike, they listen as Baba Voss gives an impassioned speech. He implores them all to just open the gates and fight Edo Voss head-on. The gates open and a scouting party heads in first, eventually taken out by Haniwa, who starts firing off numerous arrows, with an aim that would make Legolas proud. Next, the soldiers head in and attack full force. This is precisely what Baba Voss and the others wanted though, spilling oil inside a valley and preparing to ignite it. It's touch and go for a while, especially when he drops the spark, but when he reignites it again, an inferno hungrily licks up the valley and consumes all the soldiers. Edo and Ren realize they've walked into a trap, with the former lashing out and charging straight for Baba Voss. What happens to Toad? In the midst of this carnage, Toad saves Kofan from being blindsided by a berserker soldier. However, Toad ends up mortally wounded and passes away. However, he implores Kofan to head off and kill someone to help avenge him. Well, they don't need to do that given Baba Voss has a plan of his own. He leads the troops across to an icy lake, hidden with a cover of snow. After knocking down a boulder off the side of the cliff, the ice slowly starts to crack. Baba Voss and the others grab ropes and make it to safety, while Edo Voss is left with the bitter taste of defeat as all of his soldiers drown. Ren, however, manages to survive and sputters as she brings herself up to the surface. Does Edo Voss survive? With the battle won, and Ren now with Haniwa in her care, Baba Voss and Edo come face to face on a bridge, alone. This is Edo's last stand, with the pair squaring off together. There's no one else around either, and the fight is dirty, vicious, and eventually leads to Baba slicing open Edo's cheek. Baba refuses to kill his brother though, until Edo leaps at him, and he instinctively plunges a sword into Edo's gut. Back at Pensa, Haniwa lets Ren go after kissing her. Kofan isn't exactly happy when he sees, but Haniwa is adamant that she's family. Well, what am I then? Kofan calls after her, as the family eventually reconvene and head back to Pensa together. There's definitely some pent-up angst here. What happens with the Witchfinders? Magra decides to disband the idea of Witchfinders, and instead presses forward with Tamakti June and the others turning into a royal guard. The other Witchfinders are not happy though, claiming Tamakti June should know better and leaving in large numbers. How does Season 2 end? This war is far from over though, and with Jurlamerl's son getting pretty handy with explosives, and the Trivantian army in pieces, everything here feels like a calm before the storm. For now, Pensa experiences a peace after the big battle, but there's definitely more fighting to come on the horizon. Baba Voss seems to know this too, and heads out in the middle of the day, and heads off alone. Back in Pensa, Paris heads in to check up on Kane, who's still pregnant. Only, Mido, and it's a shame that C hasn't leaned into this bloodthirsty action more over the episodes. The fight between the Travantians and Baba Voss's army is pretty good, although some of the tactics are a little shaky. Given we know Edo Voss has archers and a sighted commander, why not just fire an endless volley of fire arrows over the top of the gate while knocking it down with a battering ram? Why head in with tiny scouting parties when you know they're inside? Despite that though, the finale does close out Edo Voss's chapter in this battle nicely, while setting the scene for Jurlamerl's son to start using explosives, and trying to usurp Sansa that way in Season 3. Cain, however, continues to hang around like a bad smell, and is easily one of the weakest and most annoying parts of this whole show. How she hasn't had her comeuppance yet is beyond me, but there's still time, of course. As far as finales go, this one is actually pretty good, and knowing we have a third season already greenlit does go some way to quell any issues one may have with that open conclusion. Although the world building is still shaky and the show has big problems with logic, it's still a fun, enjoyable romp nonetheless. Roll on Season 3.